And we're live on a Mars Day, Tuesday. God who gives us strength and all that great stuff. What's up, everyone? I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am nothing more than your messenger of God. I am the Lilith reincarnated, but I have all of my other incarnations that I was after the Lilith here within me. All of those fun words are just words for a person that has skills that I have, so I have to include all that. I want to thank all the new people for joining us. I like to say you got baited in by Muhammad Ali. But ultimately, if you resonated with that, then you resonate about the understanding of the heart and how the heart works. I am a guide to the Divine Feminine Awakening, which is basically the awakening of the sacred heart and the battle between the mind and the heart. I teach you how to overcome the negative emotions and the negative thoughts, and I teach you how to access your higher self and in one day or another become your higher self, where you're not just a brain moving through the matrix. Pretty much. I'm glad you joined us when you did, because we were starting a new level of teaching with the aliens. Alright, so how's it work with me? You can't keep up with me because I'm a multi-dimensional being. I live here in the 3D, but consciously I'm able to access all the other dimensions. I travel through time and space, and I get information and I bring it back here for the time that we're living out. I tried to have a very deep conversation with Morgan about this earlier, how time and space works. She was asking about talking about her best friend that's been dead for quite some time. And I was trying to explain to her how they access, and how, unfortunately, because of the way that we're stuck in this time and space, that time and space is always replaying. So that's how I'm able to access it. Even though we're in the here and now, this is just another version of here and now, and it just keeps looping. So you can enter the same time that it was this time, millions and billions of years ago, or hundreds and millions of years in the future. Why? Because time is irrelevant. It's not real. The actions and the patterns and the placement make the time. That's kind of how that works. So you came at a good time. Because typically what I teach around here is shadow work, how to master your mind and your emotions. We tapped into a new teaching, a new way of teaching it. I'm currently working with Archangel Metatron. He got some new flowers we put up for him. He is the divine being that accesses creativity to scientists, medicine, the greatest minds of the world. They don't get it from a spiritual standpoint. They get it from a Metatron standpoint. I don't know how to explain it. He speaks through symbols and numbers, letters, symbols, and numbers. He created that language, the language before we created language. So how it works is we put letters together to make sounds. Those sounds make words. Those words make sentences. He's the beginning before sound. Yeah. He's annoying to me. That's where we're at. Last night I started real briefly. We were put into a new chapter of our Palladian Light Workers book. You don't really ever have to watch my videos. Just put a freaking headphone on and listen. Even if you're not listening, it's like being put inside of you, and it will be accessible to your soul when it becomes important. Alright, so we were talking about a brand new chapter, chapter 11. We were talking about subpersonalities. And I kept saying superpersonality, I think. Subpersonalities is a scientific form for what I do over here, and that's where we work with your fragmented parts or your shadowed parts. Alright, so in order to have any understanding of that, you'll have to catch last night's reading. The way these go, you'll have to keep up, or just jump in and, swim. Do I always do this? No, today's been a great day. I usually transmit videos all throughout the day, but I've been grounded in the earth, like had like the best day ever. So I'm chilling. I haven't had to been access no kind of information. God has given me a full day off spiritually. I did a lot of physical things like in the 3D world, but I had a good day, so amen to that. Under a full moon, I get a little weird. I get very weird, and so we're working on the weirdness. We're preparing for the weirdness. What is it? Well, as the goddess of the moon, and the moon is a reflection of all of the planets, and it's shining through. At its fullest, it's shining back all of the energy that will be approaching. So I get a full download of what's about to happen for the next month. And little by little, it oozes out like a fucking pus bucket. Sounds great, right? Yeah, move on. All right, let's see. We're talking about integrating and healing your sub-personalities. Where did we leave off? I don't know. We're just going to start right there. The sub-personality process used in this book, it has its origins in specific Native American traditions that I'm told dates back at least 25,000 years ago. I'm using artistic license in this presentation and in some of my material, but the fundamentals are directly from tradition as I was taught. Alright, I just shared something in my community page. It has to do with Christ. Christ is part of the Rainbow Ray and the Rainbow Children. There's an ancient Native American prophecy that, oh gosh, I don't want to fuck this up. Hold on. Those cards, yeah, they're not the most realistic, but they are, everything that you see here is a representation of a way that I can honor gods that were honored before and all of that. I am your pagan priestess, but I teach you the Christ consciousness. And if I could get off my high horse here. I went to Actriel, who again is another Native American. Let's see. Actriel is the glory. Let's see. The Platinum Ray? Nope. Let's see. Alright, the Rainbow Child. Purity and purification. Let's see. There's a Native American prophecy which says, when the earth is ravaged and the animals are dying, a new tribe of people shall come to the earth from many colors, classes, and creeds, who by their actions and deeds shall make the earth green again. I didn't just share a random post. I speak this. They will be known as the warriors of the rainbow. Many high vibrational souls are incarnating at this time to assist with our ascension. The angels have shown me that certain old souls have chosen to go through, this is me, multiple evolutionary cycles in this one lifetime, shifting from indigo to crystal children into rainbow and diamond souls in order to become the keepers of the new earth rainbow diamond light frequencies. Okay? The new earth is not a destination, it's a frequency of love. If you're drawn to this card, blah, 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 and that's what that is. So, Native Americans, when I first started my practices, I started with Native American practices. You'll also see in my community page, as I start my full moon ceremonies, that I'm always honoring with the sage. I do a lot of, pretty much all of them. I honor all of the ways of God, but most definitely we have to practice the Native American ways. Why? Because we're in Native America. I don't know where you are. Where are you? I saw some people. Never mind. Moving on. Let's see. So, anyways, directly from the tradition she was taught, and that's where it is. Where do I get my teachings? From the creators themselves. And who is it? Well, most magic was me, myself, and I. So I'm just being re-taught what I already taught others, which is really stupid. I'm just awakening my knowing, and that's what you're going to be spending a lot of your time doing. That's the cocooning. You have to reawaken what you already knew. You have to put the memories back in. The memories are behind the information. All right, let's keep moving on. Let's see. The process is based on teachings about medicine wheel and the 4 directions, regardless of an individual's ceremony or personal focus. They are aimed at balancing harmonizing. Honoring and balancing 4 directions are part of most medicine wheels. If you have a traditional symbol for each direction, this will assist in further understanding of how to apply the 4 main sub-personalities. There are variables in traditional symbols and interpretations among the different tribes. The symbols used in my work is as follows. Number 1, South represents planet Earth and the Earth element. You'll notice I moved my candles. So, which direction am I facing? I'm facing east, so that would be right. Earth is facing south at this particular moment. Did I read this prior? Nope. I'm just guided to do shit. I had to reorganize my altar to fit those flowers that I was guided to get. Actually, it was Morgan. She was guided to get them. She's like, we need some flowers. I was like I'm never going to say no to that. All right, let's see. Represents planet Earth, the Earth element, and the physical body. The inner nurturer is associated with this direction. That's going to be all of your divine feminine. West represents water. Interesting. So if that's completely east, this is over to the west. Wonderful. West represents the water element and the emotional body. The inner child is located here. It's in your emotions. All right, number 3. North is the direction of air. Do I have air up there? I did not. Interesting as that might be. But these are a different tradition. Really? Yeah. Anything represent, don't get me started. Let's see. Where are we at? North is the direction of the air element and the mental body. The inner warrior or warrioress is associated with the north. East represents the fire element. Makes sense. Light and the spirit body, and it is the direction of the inner spirit. If you already have 4 directional interpretations that you use for spiritual purposes, simply interchanging the elements or the placement of the elements and subpersonalities as appropriate. For instance, if you traditionally call south the direction of water, then read the section of inner child for that interpretation of south, as the inner child is associated with water. The inner nurturer would be located at the west instead of the south. When working with the 4 sub-personalities or place on your personal shield, as the whole, I'm seeing something in I'm getting a download. What are you getting? Sacred geometry. Hold on. At least I'm getting them and not getting headaches. The card or the book? The card. They want you to see the card. Fair enough. Hold on. What is a download? It's an image that's put into my head, of an image that I have to put into a word or bring to you. It interrupts my visual in front of me goes blank and I can't see, so I have to wait for the image to materialize, and then I can tell you what I just saw. So it'll usually be in the middle of reading. I'm getting a download, meaning it's fucking up my ability to see, and then I'll tell you what I see after I've seen it. Sometimes it's places, sometimes it's people, sometimes it's something like this. Well, it always has to do with what we're talking about. They just want you to have images. They're always, creating the show. What are we looking for? It's in my sacred geometry cards. Alright, hold on. And that again is coming from him, Metatron. I've seen it. I say it's in here. I've seen it. That's what happens. They put an image and you can't go past it. You're like, okay. And either you talk about it, or you find it, you describe it. It's like fucking fucked up Pictionary. Come on, where is it? There it is. Makes sense, right? Why I saw it. It's called the medicine whale card. Do you know the meaning? No, we'll read it afterwards, which means I have to find the fucking book too. Keep moving on. So, it's called the Wheel of Life, the Wheel of Fortune. There's lots of wheels. They're all, right now, this book is talking about activating your Ka something. Awakening your divine Ka is what this book is called. And it's your Ka channel, right? I activated mine, and then I started getting started getting downloads from fucking aliens, just like this fucking bitch. How did I do that? I went through the ascension of all my chakras through that book that I just read to you, which was the Archangel Fire Oracles. I went through every level of the ascension to where I had opened all of my chakras. Then you get other ones. What's happening with Metatron isn't a chakra, or I swear to God it better not be. As his come, it's just a vision outside into my head. They're not in there. He puts them in there. Meaning most of my visions come through the third eye, but his is like, it's a different thing. It's very different. But anyways, there's lots of these circles that equal shapes and shit. It all starts with that. It's his language, so you know what I mean? They're jamming me with all of these circles. But especially it started with the medicine wheel as the first one I called. And whatever this is in my hand. What are they? I'm not sure yet. I'm not very familiar with this. I was guided to buy these, I don't know, like a year ago. They get me prepared way too early, if you ask me. Activations. And they're actually in different locations. Here's the Earth grid. That makes sense. The Ka channel makes sense. These are things that I'm kind of familiar about because we've just started to put the information, but they're all aligned. We just don't know the alignment yet. What's the alignment? Time. It was given in different time in different locations. The same information. It's kind of how like a bunch of artists will drop the same type of music at the same type of time. Because it's let out in time. It's let out, you know what I mean? Like, whoever catches this message. Shit like that. Alright, let's go on to this whole Wheel of Fortune shit. Whatever. I'm getting an appetite, so that's cool. Let's see. When working with the 4 sub-personalities, or place on your personal shield, and I guess that's what that's when I said that word, that's where I got it. As a whole sub-personality system is called in some Native American teachings. It is important to know that each sub-personality has positive and important functions in your life, regardless of any imbalance or dysfunction being expressed. Okay, you're really going to have to go back and catch my videos this weekend because I told you, my last video, shit, time is so fucked up right now. Where am I? Sunday night, I made a video real late at night. Was that last night? Fuck. I can't ground myself into time right now. I talked about the Mercury retrograde is going to come and it's going to hit you and you're going to act out. And not to scold yourself for the acting, but understand the act. Why you're reacting. Not all your actions are bad. Dude, when I act a whole fucking screaming berserk person, that is very necessary and sometimes. Not ever really appropriate, but necessary. If I am in a fucking situation where I really need to assert my dominance and scare and you know what I mean, shove some people down, and all I have is my voice, then best believe me screaming at the top of my lungs and acting like a fucking maniac and throwing my hands up in the air and waving my purse like that crazy girl, that is necessary, but not acceptable, right? Now, what happens is this inner child, right, your emotions is attached to your inner child. Your emotions rise, and you act like a fucking child. Yes? Yes. That's okay. I come from a place of a child. In most all of these videos, you'll see that I am nothing more than a balanced child. A very wise, balanced child. I ask a lot of questions like a child. I see it as a child. I talk like a child. I eat like a child. I'm very much, the inner child has been healed. And that's because I work through all emotions. So it's, you know, I'm a whole kid in here, but I'm the wisest kid ever because I'm God's first child with many lives. And that's where you are your true essence. When you let yourself out with your coworkers in the club, at the, you know, in the park, with your dog, with your children, with your friends, you're being a child. You're letting that healthy child out. When you're at Top Golf, when you're chugging beer, when you're, you know, playing fucking karaoke, when you're playing imagination, when you're laughing real hard, when you blew something out of your nose, you know, these moments, this is a healthy child. We come from an unhealthy place in our inner child, and that's what we need to address. With your emotions comes your inner child. This is where it all starts. And why you don't like me, because I want to talk about your childhood all the time. We were stunted at growth emotionally. As we started to express these emotions that were not acceptable in public, we were scolded and taught to not act. Those actions that are still built up from childhood will react in the moments of now, which, depending on your age, is extremely inappropriate. It's okay for the right person that, like me, that understands this act, but other people don't. And it can get you, you know, depending on how bad you start acting, you could lose your career, you could lose loved ones, you could end up in jail, you could take someone's life. You know what I mean? Just acting a fool is what that is. There's a child inside of us that needs our, you know what I mean? That needs that. And that's where that, you know what I mean? When you get slighted, you start acting all fucking, all kid-like. Okay. So, let's see. Upon initial meeting of the aspects of your personal shield, you will ask your sub-personalities what their names are. You will see an image for each sub-personality with your inner eyes and talk to it as if you were addressing a physical person. It's very intriguing because I didn't have any of these teachings, but when I woke up, I had multiple personalities and what I knew as a disorder. But when I went to seeking mental health, you know what I mean, when I went to a mental health consultant and I did the whole thing, he said that I had parts disorder, right? A family parts disorder. And I had never heard that because I was old school. Now, even, you know, borderline personality disorder, they call it DID. They have different names. As it evolves, they create different names for different subsets of what this is, disorders of the consciousness, right? So when I woke up, I had a bunch of them. I had 7 of them going on in my head. One of them, and I still, you know, I speak of it too, and that was controlling my divine masculine. The man inside of me would be the warrior. Not a warrioress. It's a man. It's a whole man. A very powerful man. Right? And then that inner child. Then you've got the Empress, which is the divine feminine, which is my Queen of Cups. You see the Queen of Cups. It's the Queen of Cups, and this is what I tell you is going on inside of you. You have your mother, your father, your child. You're mothering yourself. You're fathering yourself, and you're allowing yourself to be the child, to be free inside of you as this family. I did not learn it through these teachings, and I did not go too deep into the teachings. All I know is I was stuck in the mind with more than 7 different aspects of myself that were very, to me, obvious, that would show through my actual personal body. I would wake up, wear my hair different, dress completely different. I would look like different fucking people, I thought. 100%. For sure, I thought. But that was just me monitoring them and watching them come out through my personality, I suppose. So, did they have names? I gave them names. Do you remember them? Jessica. For sure. There was, shit, I can't remember them all. Cindy was the worst. Can't remember them all. Anyways. When you listen, in order to understand how that part of you thinks and feels and what its needs are, you will ask questions. And that's it. At first, I just kind of paid attention, and that's where you start to honor yourself and what your body's telling you, and your mind is telling you, and your heart is telling you. It's very interesting to see this, because I myself just thought that I was, I'm the only one locked in there with, multiple aspects of myself that I'm trying to understand and integrate. Granted, I had a few more than what the book says, but to see that you guys do, and that's how I described it later in the soul aspect, but I didn't see it in the personality in the beginning. But it does make sense. There's the Patricia, you know what I mean? There was quite a bit going on in there. So it's intriguing for me to know that you have different aspects of yourself, but I've seen them play out in my twin flames, where you're a whole shadow of yourself. You're like a whole, not who are you right now, but it's them, but it's a part of them that you didn't know, and you're like, whoa, what's your name? Yee? What happened to Kanye, bro? I have no idea who this guy is. Anyways, in order to understand how the parts of you think and feel and what its needs are, you will ask questions. These questions are listed in individual sections in the guided process for meeting your sub-personalities. That's what happened to me in my awakening. I met them motherfuckers real quick. The sub-personality may tell you ways in which it feels unfulfilled or stifled or joyed or fulfilled. That's all I heard. They would just go back and forth about I don't know, everything. It was like a fucking, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. Like a sleepover where everybody's just like, talking about everything. Everything I witnessed, then there's like, everyone's got to talk about it. Everyone has their own perspective about what we just went through. And I'm just like, what? Your job is to listen and caringly understand as parts of you share its feelings, its hopes and dreams, and its wishes. Well, I'd like to say that's how it started, but that's not what started. They shared their fears. You know what I mean? Example, so I had a twin flame that woke me up. He's talking to me, and I've got this overwhelming excitement that I want to talk to him and I want to see him, and I've never felt like this. But I have all of these other parts, and I say it. There's a part of me that wants nothing, that thinks that I should have nothing to do with you. There's a part of me that really wants to see you. There's a part of me, and I say all this. Well, those parts started to really become alive. And the only part that wanted to see him was me. Every other part of me was like, no. Not no, but hell no. And they would argue all the time about no. And when I would try to reach out, another part would come over me and then push him away or say something mean or fuck. It was really bad. It was really bad. My parts ran my life. I just all of a sudden woke up in it and tried to start getting control over it. So I watched them inside, and then I was guided to start doing video documentaries outside. And I said this in over the weekend videos. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just guided to go live. I would hike in the mountains, and I would start pouring my thoughts and my heart out. And I would learn from myself, from what I said and what I thought. As I would start talking, they would just pour out. It was easier. It was easier to hear them individually than all together. It was just pouring it all out. All right, Marshall. I'm emptying my book of rhymes. Get them all out my head. Every thought. Whatever. Thanks, Marshall. Thanks for writing the tunes. All right. Anyways, when you have heard the answers to all your questions, you will be complete with all of the initial meetings. You will later say goodbye for a time being and agree to connect at a later time. That's very interesting, because when my last one came out, which was the Beast, the Warrior, it was a beast. It was a beast. When that one came out, all of the other ones silenced and let that one control. And once I got that one to calm, they just disappeared. I spoke about it this weekend, how terrifying it was. You will say goodbye for a time being and agree to connect at a later time. And that's what happens. So I just be chilling, and then later they pour in the life. They'll show me parts of me that, you know what I mean? They'll show me the life that I was, the life that they lived, pieces of me. The 15-year-old part of me, 15 to about 17, I can't remember the name I gave her, that was a part of me. As I progressed through time, I was stunted in growth from too much trauma. So there was different parts of me. And I said, my outside world was trying to connect, or my inside world was trying to tell my outside world what was wrong with me. I was always drawn to, my first book was Sybil. And then when the movie came, the movie was a big deal. Then these other movies, and I studied psychology. I studied all this stuff, dude. I was big into documentaries. I was big into history. I was big into mysticism and religions and all this stuff. I would feed my brain all this information. You know what I mean? All the stuff that I would need later when I awoken, which is quite interesting. The decision on how often to meet with your subpersonalities or balance your personal shield is up to you. I can't turn them on. They turn on by time. Usually, you know what I mean, there's a Friday for sure. By Thursday to Friday, I get activated because the heart gets activated. When my heart gets activated, that's what started all this. What started it? This guy. I had a secret love for this guy, and when he contacted me, my heart opened up. And it made my fucking personalities flare. And so every time my heart opens up, it brings back all my trauma and shit. And so that's how the personalities get activated. Which is me, a conscious being of me that lived through this life that has the personalities. I get astral traveled back to this time, this memory of me, and I experience it for the first time, and I get to see what it is to be me. And unfortunately, there are awful times. Why? Because what made the personality split? Trauma, bro. A bunch of shit. So I do this for you. I've been doing it for 3 years, and get ready, because the shit gets ugly around here. It gets ugly. And with that being said, I'm not the type of person to be like, share, and subscribe. But if you know somebody that you're listening to one of my videos and you know this person has this secret, make sure you share that video with that person, please. And thank you. It's not about monetization. It's about healing. My fucking pain is, broadcasted for the healing of others, is how this works around here. We're a community of healing, but I'm not very love and light about the shit. I'm full of light and love, but I'm the goddess, so you're going to get a lot of everything. Alright, let's move on to your inner, outer self and stuff. Where are we? I jumped somewhere far. Meeting your subpersonalities. I lost myself somewhere. Why? Because I'm seeing something. Hold on. How did I miss this? Oh, because I'm jumping too far. Okay. The decision on how often to meet your subpersonalities or balance your personal shield is up to you. The particular Native American people from whom I learned this practice recommend balancing your personality shield daily. I have found that I tend to do so about once a week unless I feel specific immediate need. My other spiritual practices are time-consuming and take precedence in my daily practice. Okay, see, so other people have other functions. My healing is my primary function. So at any time, I can be, anything can activate me into, dealing with my subpersonalities. Anything. Where I have to stop what I'm doing in the physical, and I have to, literally go into the deepest, darkest parts of my mind and my emotions and do immediate healing so that I can go forward. However, this may be different for you. The process may be so profound and vital that it becomes your most important daily focus. There is a time when it was a vital daily practice for me. When I leave the medicine wheel after each session of balancing my personal shield, I tell the aspects of the four directions approximately when I will see them again. This communication is important for making the process real and meaningful for yourself and your inner parts. In the beginning, I found a lot of my child-broken parts. I had met 4 of my parts in one spot, 4 of them activated that were stuck in time from 4 very hideous sexual abuse memories. I met them all, you know what I mean? It was me, but I met myself in 4 memories, and it was too much for me. And like, all right, guys, all right, I know what's happened. I know I will come back. I promise I'll get you out of there. I promise I'll get you out of there. It's just too much right now. And I had to, you know what I mean? I couldn't stay in those memories with them. There was too many memories, and I couldn't visit them right then. Sometimes I can't do this right now, but not usually. And that's why I don't have an outer life, because I have to spend some in my inner life to create a proper outer life. My magnetism keeps bringing this back. And that's what happens to you guys. You stay in perpetual time loops of fucking trauma, which is nothing more than karma, until you learn the lesson. In order to stop it from coming, you have to go back and look at where it started and stop making any actions, because anything you move towards, any movement towards anything, is only bringing back that same lesson you didn't learn. So in essence, it's a standstill. But it's better to stand still than to call it in again. It's better to deal with what's already been done instead of to re-traumatize yourself and then go through that one all the way back to where it started. Really? Yes. It's huge to me. I don't spend all time mapping my mind, but when it's activated, I have to deal with it immediately. I'm seeing the most triggering one that I had happen was a couple weeks ago. Someone sent me a dick pic. Really? It was my first one. It was not even, you know what I mean? It wasn't too appalling that they did it, but I wasn't mentally or emotionally ready for it. And as soon as it happened, I got a lot of fucked up thoughts, a lot of terrible memories, and I couldn't even talk to that person or even deal with my outside life because I was stuck in my mind dealing with things that I had never seen happen to me before, trying to understand things. Really? All right, so, you know, there are times when you're like, I can't deal with this, I promise I'll come back. And you have to go back to yourself, because yourself's been sitting there waiting to be heard about this moment. The next step is action. If your inner nurturer tells you that you are watching too much television and that you need to spend more time being in nature or taking long baths, you need to listen and follow through with these suggestions to rest to your best of your ability. I said that earlier. I had set up for baptisms. We do this quite often, but especially under the full moon. Got honey blossom salts, and then Morgan saw the vanilla limited, so she got those, and she's like, let's split them, and then we can try both of them. So we got some of those. I told the girls we're going to all set up for a full moon ceremony tomorrow, and we'll all take baths. You'll take a bath, you know what I mean? A warm bath, and then with candlelit, just to clear yourself out. Put yourself in some comfy clothes, and then you'll come down. One of them doesn't have a candle, but everyone will bring their candles down. I'll burn some sage, and we're going to do some manifestational practices. I'll also teach them how to draw, or because of the moon, we'll do some moon water. And then that's it. I'll teach them the first layers of magic, and we'll watch those seeds grow. It's not that hard if you know how to do it. If your heart is right and you're not, you know what I mean? And that's it. They'll tell me what they want, and we'll critique that. Don't make it so solid. Let's make it more, feasible. I was originally manifesting financial abundance, or financial security, not abundance, just some security so that I could breathe. And God already granted that today. So I was like guided to manifest intimacy, an intimate relationship. I'm ready for some intimacy. Really? Yeah, I've never manifested that before, but I'm ready for it. An intimate relationship. Yeah, cool, huh? Alright, so let's see. What do you want to manifest? Well, we'll talk about that tomorrow, not today. If you cannot comply for some reason, be honest with your inner nurturer and tell him why you cannot heed the advice given. Your inner nurturer is going to tell you to take the day off, to go to the park, to have a good meal, to eat a piece of cake, to take a bath, to, you know what I mean? To turn off the music, to just breathe. That's your Queen of Cups that's caring and stuff, that's caring for you. That's your, you know what I mean? That's your goddess inside of you. That's your mother telling you how to take care of yourself. So, like, I was, you know, as the child I am, I eat, you know what I mean? I go by my feelings. I don't think what's right for me. Tonight, I was like, what am I going to eat? And I was guided. I went through the bread, and all of a sudden, these pita bread stuck out to me. And my daughter's like, those are really good. So I was like, okay, I'm getting pita bread. And then I started walking around, and I was like, what the fuck am I going to eat with pita bread? Obviously, I want cream cheese on my pita bread. But I didn't really come up with anything. And then I was walking through, and I saw coconut shrimp. And that's what I came up with. And that's what I'm going to eat when I get off of here. You're like, that's not really dinner. I know, but watch me make it one. And that has to go with Hecate. All that fucking fish and bread and shit. Really? Pretty much. I'm tired of the chicken. Chicken and fish, that's Hecate all the way. I want a big, fat American burger. I had one of those yesterday, actually. It was a big-ass bacon cheeseburger, and I put avocado on it. It is important that you intend to take action however possible, based on feedback. Without this intention, not only in the process is the process useless, but your self-trust will deteriorate as well. Meaning, if you tell yourself you're going to do something, then you honor what you told yourself you'll do. Right? So, like, something simplistic, and I'm terrible about sitting still. I told myself I was going to paint my toenails and my fingernails. And it's not really important to me, but a part of me it is. And so a part of me was like, yeah, I was like, I'll get to it. And then it's like, can we please just do it? All right, I'll do it. And then I don't stay still, and they come out all fucking, all funny. I was like, yeah, that was a great idea. And that's just it. It's like a part of me really wants, and I did get it. Remember I told you I wanted some chocolate mousse? I didn't go for the chocolate mousse. I got a pecan parfait. And that's just it. It's like, you know, you have to promise yourself and honor the promises. It's like, oh, I really want to sit down and watch that movie. Then honor that promise. You heard yourself say you wanted to do something. Do what you want to do. Not every want. But you know the ones that's like, oh, I've been really wanting to go there. I heard that's a good place. And you just keep putting it off. Why? Because it takes a sacrifice. You'll have to stop what you're doing to do something for yourself. You'll have to be a little selfish. You'll have to say no to say yes. So you put it off. A good one that I was telling Morgan about, I rode the bus today. I never rode the bus. I mean, not really. They gave me free bus tokens, or free bus passes. And it was so simple. 3 buses went there by the time I was smoking my cigarette. It was a total, I swear to God, it was a fucking Forrest Gump moment. I'm thinking I'm going to be here for an hour waiting for this bus. The first one goes by while I'm at the light. I was like, there'll be another one. And then another one comes before she gets there. So I was like, there'll be another one. And there was. It was so simple. But anyways, I was telling her how I was like, this is cool. I haven't rode the bus in a long time. I was like, I caught a bus up to Idaho Springs to go to the healing springs. She's like, really? I was like, yeah, it was so cool. It was $5. It was so simple. Took me straight up the mountain. It was super duper. And I had always wanted to do that. I had never gone to the hot springs. And I had always, you know what I mean? I just never did it, and I never did it, and I never did it. The day I went to do it, I felt like didn't even want to do it. My mind made it seem like this is gonna be a pain in the ass, and you're gonna have to walk, and what if you don't miss the bus, and you didn't buy a ticket, and da-da-da-da. I get there, it was so simple. I gave him $5, I get on, I walked through the whole town, went and took my bath, and fucking walked back, sat at the fucking bus stop, jumped on. It was so easy. It's like, why didn't I do that sooner, bro? I waited 42 years to do that. Something that Coloradans have done since, but that's it too. I'd never been fully camping on my own. It wasn't until the Holy Spirit told me to leave Oklahoma and do it in Colorado. It was like it never occurred to me till my spirit said to do it. I was like, wow, this is great. I mean, it was scary, but I was part of something that I always wanted to be part of, but just never was. So that I just want to explain to you that, you know, that nurturer, listen and honor that listening. You know what I mean? When yourself says, and it's usually your inner child that's saying it, and it's your nurturer that's honoring it. And it's a happy family in there. And if you get a whole cake and you're like halfway in, then you need the father, the warrior, to say that enough cake, ladies. You're going to have pimples tomorrow. Small portions. Don't indulge yourself in anything. But feed yourself everything good for your soul. What your super personality asks is genuinely intended to bring you back to balance with yourself and your life. And that's your body. Your body craves things. That's what I told her. I was like, I kind of eat like a pregnant person. I really don't know. I just kind of go with it. And that's why it's good that they feed us meals, because then I eat, balanced meals around here. Really? Yeah. Where do you think that big-ass cheeseburger came from? I'm not buying cheeseburgers. It is important that you intend to take action, however possible, based on feedback. Without this intention, not only is the process useless, but your self-trust will deteriorate as well. Instructions for what to do when you go back into medicine wheel after the initial meeting are given in the last section of this chapter. Now, this is where I got thrown off. When I saw these words, I was like, wait, what? Where am I? What? In a particular Native American tradition, I learned you meet each part of your personal shield in a vision quest. Visions. Listen to this. You find a spot in nature to which you are drawn, and you make offerings such as tobacco, smudge, corn, and other gifts. That's the only thing I haven't done, and I'm getting it prepared. I will make offerings tomorrow. Because I'm not in my car and I can't go to some of the places where I do, which would be typically Red Rocks or the Cherry Creek Reservoir or something, I will take my offerings over to the closest creek, a place where animals will meet. Not like, make a big old mess and anything, but I will make a offering to the gods through the animals. Whatever animals come to eat it, and that's why I have all of the animal spirits with me. My feathers and shit. I have so many. Don't even get me started. All my snake skins and all my fucking rabbit foot and my fucking squirrel tail. Are you serious? Yeah, God gives me shit and I gotta save it and say thanks, God. It's like a kid that gives you, a dirty candy and was like, here, you want some? Yeah, thanks. And you can't throw the candy because they're looking, so. No, I'm saving it. I'm saving it for later. Alright, anyways. When you wait for this aspect let's see, you do, This spot is ideally one in which you feel a particular strong connection with the element that the direction represents. South represents earth elements. For example, next you'll sit on the earth and sing some sacred songs or go into silent meditation. No, I always have headphones and I be jamming, bro. I use music activation to travel through the frequencies. So you'll see that I share all different types of music. Click on it and see what it does to your vibe. You were something before you click on my songs and watch what they're not my songs. I'm bringing you into a different vibration. I'm being guided to show you what vibration I'm in and let it affect you and see how it'll change you. Ask the aspect with whom you desire contact to come forth. Then wait, and I don't do that. The music turns on, and I don't ask for shit. It just comes forward. What? Dead people, spirits. It could be anybody. Jesus. It could be anything, dude. Literally anything. Anything. That's where it is. I just be in my own sacred space, and that's where it all activates. When you wait for this, and that's what I told you I'm going to do with the girls. I mean, we all smoke weed, so yeah, we'll be smoking. We all smoke cigarettes. I'll be burning smudge. I would have made my other offerings. We'll sit there with a candle, with our water, all of our elements. We would have took the bath. We would have done all of that. And this is how we'll activate it all. Yep, the spirit stuff. South representing earth element, for example. Next, you sit on the earth and sing sacred songs or go into a silent meditation. Sometimes, especially under full moons, it's too much I take the music off and I just sit there in silence. Even though it's quiet, there's a lot flowing through me. Asking the aspects of whom you wish to desire to come forth. Then you wait for this aspect to present itself. You may hear a voice speak to you, or see an image, or what your subpersonality looks like. This is hard for me. This is what creates my body dysphoria. Because I see myself in my head, but the way I see myself in my mind, and then I try to see myself, I have a body dysphoria. I don't see what you see in my body. And actually, when I woke up, I was really plus size, so I still see that really big girl. And I keep shopping for her. I keep buying extra large clothes sometimes, and it's like I just, yeah. I get lost staring at my pictures. I'll be like, I can't see me in those pictures. I know it's me. I know that's who you think I am, but that's not me. It's just the skin I wear. It's very intriguing. You will need to establish both an image and a communication before you are through. Then the dialect takes place. After the communication is complete, you will take an item from the quest located back to your altar or outdoor medicine wheel as a physical symbol of the relationship. And that's it. You take certain things, come back. You know what I mean? You bring things back. So, for example, damn, I just set up my altar. All of these right here, these ones right here, are from, at different times, they're from Red Rocks, but they're from the graveyard in Red Rocks. And they're actually, most of them are rose quartz. Okay? Now, these ones back there, I know a man, if I reached out to him, what's his name? I can't remember names right now. He mined those. Those are actually mined, and that's real gold and stuff. I go to Blackhawk. Further up is Central City. My spirit won't allow me to go in there because it's cursed. But those came from the cursed lands, and I was able to bring them to my altar. All right, so my flowers will be from a land, and then I'll bring them to my altar, and then, charge it, I suppose. A lot of that stuff, and that's why I was saying all of these, this came from, I was doing exactly that on the top of a fucking mountain. I was doing a sage burn, listening to music, getting all these visions with the Red Chief. I was in Minnesota. When I came off of this rock, right on the ground where I was in front of me, was this place filled with all kinds of fur. And we knew it to be wolf fur. And it was like, it looked like a perfect bed where a chief would sit there and there would be his wolf. I have a picture of it, but I was able to bring the wolf spirit back with me. All of my feathers are a spirit of the animal that spirit doesn't, it's not outside of me, it's that I've activated that spirit within inside of me. Right? So I'm the battle crow. I'm the shapeshifter. Why? Because you were many things before you were human, my friends. And in most cases, you leave the human form to be an animal form and many other forms. The spirit can take many forms and it's not stuck in a singular form. Let's see. You may hear, yeah, we talked about this. Bring something back to your altar. If you do not wish to do this process by going into the outdoors, you may also do it through meditation. After entering into a relaxed state, you will offer prayers to the Great Spirit, God, Goddess, all that is, or whatever you call the divine oneness. Give thanks and ask for clarity and assistance as you meditatively quest to meet your 4 sub-personalities. Directions for meeting your 4 sub-personalities are given in the following sections. Okay, we've already put an hour into this. I can put an hour into one card. We're going to stop there. Why? Because that's too much. We're not going to go meeting your consciousness right now. We're preparing you for it. There's a lot of new people. You are getting, again, this is new for us, higher level of teachings, but you're learning what we already know, just at a very high level. right? We learned it in the dark. This is the highest level of light that we're learning it through now. We go through it in the dark and through the light. So this is a light version of meeting yourself. You're going to meet your dark aspects come Friday. We'll start digging in it by Wednesday for sure. The full moon, oh yeah. And you know that anyways. The full moon brings, certain aspects of yourself out. This is the full moon in Capricorn, which could be your elevated status. In essence, an overblown God complex, or you not stepping into your godliness, is how that good spectrum can look. So this is really exciting. Again, I have lots of books that we teach this about, which is the awakening and how to meet yourself, deal with your personalities, your feelings, the aspects of yourself. This is a new version. I'm really excited to be teaching you a new version. I'm going to go ahead and try to find the book to that, along with all of these other ones. We talked about, as you can see, this all started 2 days ago. We were in here talking about the connection with animals. Came to here, all to here. So everything, I show you that there's order in the chaos, how to read light codes, how to see the messages on the wall that other people can't see, how it's a language of synchronicities. You would say coincidences, but they're not. They're not coincidences. Things stand out to you. Numbers, verses, all of that is a language. That language will become more than the words that are coming out of people's mouths when you start accessing language. It's called light codes. It's how the Holy Spirit speaks, how God connects to you through all things, the oneness. So I'm always getting light codes. None of that has to do with this fucking card, though. Just wanted to show you the connection. In essence, this stuff is still on my altar. I haven't got it off until the teaching is done. And now I'm like understanding why this shit is still sitting here, because we're still digging in the shit. Alright. It's not like I have anything better to do than teach you. At least we're learning something new. I'm just trying to find this book. Please, God. Thank you. Not Mary Magdalene. What am I looking for? Sacred geometry. Okay. What's the number? 20. I went to 21, which is Mayan dreams. Connecting to nature, guys. And that's where I was. All day I was outside, and that's what I said. I am so grounded. I'm like a rock, bro. Like my body's heavy to move. It wasn't lazy. It was just I was so grounded. I heard nothing spiritual. I was not part of the physical. I was just a fucking tree. I was moving, but my energy, I was not connected to anything psychic. I was just so in tune with myself. Like, it was almost like tuned out. Fully tuned out, but fully present. Where nothing else was entering my field. It was like I was in like a tune. Tune with the Raiders. Oh, that's a good one. Alright, let's move on. Page 55. What is 5? Accelerated growth and let go. Let go. Medicine wheel and medicine shields are traditional ceremonial tools of Native people. They act, I just want to point this out. We were talking to aliens a minute ago, and now we're in sacred geometry oracles. I just want to point this out. They're all connected. Really? Yeah, these books weren't, I didn't purchase them at the same time, although all spiritual stuff seems to be...
Everything's sweet.
Yeah, we got those parfaits. They're in the top. They're hidden, actually, they're hidden behind some shit.
Oh, the...
Yeah. No, not those, the parfaits. We got those little dessert cups. Yeah, did he eat those Nutter Bar fucking Twinkies? Were they good?
What, the cookies?
No, the Nutter Bar Twinkies. I've never seen a Nutter Bar Twinkie. Did he try it?
He ate like 2 last time.
He ate 2? They must have been good then. See, I be letting my kids eat junk food. Yeah, they're back there. Let me see mine so I could tell them what I got. I know, I gotta take care of that. That's what Morgan said. She's like, do you have double refrigerators? Where are you putting all this shit? It's like, dude, I don't know.
Oh, it's wet everywhere.
Okay, yeah, because it was...
It's like it's raining.
Alright! Let me move on. Let's see. The embody of the symbol, that would be my daughter. She's always part of these. Usually eating chips, but she's looking for something sweet this time.
My teeth hurt too much for chips.
Alright, this card offers a view... Wait. They embody the symbols of the circle, often used in the equilateral cross, the square, and the commonly employed animal and elemental totems as icons of protection, and connectedness. This card offers a view of nature as a medicine wheel and asks you to remember your absolute connection to nature and the continuous movement and flow of the seasons and the heavens. Viewing ourselves as separate from nature leads to our alienation and loneliness. You will find comfort and psychic protection in viewing time and circumstances as part of a natural progress of life. As the wheel turns, is what we say here. Where are we turning into? We're turning into a new wheel. We're right in between it. We're about to hit Lugnasa. How do you know? I just know. What is that? Maboon? Is what they call that? We're about to hit it. How do you know? I don't know. I just know it comes in. There's 6 pagan holidays that come through this wheel of the 4 seasons that we... Excuse me, I got the hiccups. The 4 seasons that we have. And I'm only 3 years in, but I'm learning them, and I can feel them too. Matter of fact, we have a 10-day energy that shifts tomorrow, which will be... What does that mean? For 10 days, there's a constant energy of 3 realities that leak into ours. It goes for 10 days at a time. It just stays there. Doesn't mean you'll get it for 10 days, but it's available for 10 days. 3 realities, you know what I mean? I have them pinned down to 10-day periods. Some of these realities just come and go, like the full moon and shit. Only during certain times can you access certain realities, certain veils, certain animals, certain seasons, right? Thinking about like fruit and shit, right? You're not going to get good fruit in winter. Okay, so you're not going to be able to access certain spirits, certain things during certain times. And that's how that works. And that I'm certain that the next time we're having is Lugnasa. Or Lamas. Maboon. Lamas. I don't know. I think that all 3 of them are together. I don't know. I'm seeing too much in my head. This card offers a view of nature as the medicine wheel and asks you to remember, you're not separate. I mean, realistically, we're different from each other. And when you realize that you don't fit in with the cliques, the little organizations, the little communities, the little groups, you know what I mean, the little networks, you feel very alienated. In order to eliminate that alienation is to go back to where we come from, which is nature. You'll feel back at home when you get out in nature. You won't feel alone. You won't feel depressed. You won't feel the need for somebody's attention. You will feel the whole forest, the neighborhood, even if you're walking down a park, you will feel at one with everything around you. When you go into a big city, no, you feel like you're you against the world. You know what I mean? When you go into work, when you go into church, when you're walking down the street, it's you versus them. When you go into nature, it's you and nature. You're one. Viewing ourselves as separate from nature leads to our alienation. You will find comfort and psychic protection in viewing time and circumstances as part of natural progress of life. Remember that you are part of all that is, one with God and not separate. As the first child of God, created from the dirt and the dust of the earth, I tell you, when you're part of the earth, you feel at home again, because you were made of the earth. But the real exciting part is, the earth was made of the universe. So when you get back to the earth, you're not just getting back to yourself, you're getting back to the universe too. Later I can teach you how to access certain places on earth that can really take you out of this world. Each model of your being is a spark of energy and light that connects with every other energetic particle in a way that speaks of unity and oneness with everything in the universe. Viewed in this way, you see clearly that you are never alone, always loved, and always protected. You know, for a long time I've been a single practitioner. When I did my first, dance naked under the moon, I was terrified. When I did all this, I always do all of this stuff. I invite people, I teach people from afar. This is the first time that I invited people and they want to be part. And they weren't just wanting to be part, they were excited. All 3 of them, their face lit up and said, yes, I want to do that with you. I want to do that. They weren't afraid. You know what I mean? They weren't afraid to be part of what I'm doing. And that's what's really exciting, is when you don't have to go and be part of someone else's, but when people want to be part of what you're doing. Where you don't have to dress up to go to their party, but people want to party with you. And what I do is, all I'm doing is helping them manifest like myself. I'm going to do this all by myself. Do you want to be part of it? And they were like, yeah. And that's a good feeling. But it takes a long time to find people that will accept you as you are. And again, if God wouldn't have fucking taken away my car, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be sitting outside making friends. I wouldn't be sitting outside making friends. I'd be sitting in my car all by myself, doing my own little rituals, staying away from everyone. But when he put me outside, I'd seen them all, but now we're cool. And I gotta talk, as soon as we stop this card, I'm gonna tell you something to end this all. Alright? Viewed in this way, you see clearly that you are never alone, always loved and always protected. The 4 fundamental food groups that we feed over here is from God. Your messages from God are: you are loved, you are protected, you are provided for, and He has a mighty purpose for your life. And Michael Jackson always will come in and sing that song to you, that you are not alone. Reversed. Your relationship with nature is upside down and off balance. Likely life has been so full of responsibilities and obligations. Honor your relationship to nature and Mother Earth. By reestablishing connection, you will bring a greater wholeness to your experience. It doesn't take much. If you can get yourself outside, that's the biggest start. What you're staring at can have some effect of it. So you take yourself to a local park. It doesn't have to be a national park. It doesn't have to be any of that. You know what I mean? In between some buildings, and that's where I'm going to do my offering, is there's a walk. They call it, around here, they call them green belts, right? Where you can just do a walk, a dog walk or a family walk. There's lots of them, and it runs by a creek, and there's patches of water. There's patches of grass and trees. I will get off the path and cut into those trees next to the creek and just sit there. And even though it looks like I'm all by myself, I feel completely connected to everything when I'm right there in those little spaces, those little crevices of earth. And again, that's what I did today. Mostly, I sat outside. I was basically outside all day, just part of earth. Doing my own thing, but still part of it. Alright, so I'm going to end on this note. I did a crazy video yesterday about the kid that fell out of the fucking window, right? So sure enough, I said that in my video that I had manifested I needed to do laundry, and the homegirl came up and asked me, and she was waiting for me. I told you yesterday that's what I was doing. I was just waiting for her to come pick me up so we could do laundry. She was waiting for me outside when this happened. She saw the whole fucking thing. She had pictures. She showed me the pictures. Typically, I can't see something like that. Morgan wouldn't. She said, I can't see that. I was like, typically, I can't see stuff like that. I know that it's the armor given to me because I can't look at owies or anything like that. But she had the pictures. She was there. She was standing outside when everybody started running and saying they fell, and she was right there when they brought her out. They brought her out to the front, waiting for the ambulance to pull up. She took pictures of her. I couldn't share those pictures because I'm positive it would have fucked up my YouTube. I would have got in trouble with YouTube sharing those kind of graphic pictures. It was unbelievable. But it said that she's going to make a recovery. And again, when I made that video, I was fully unaware that there was a landing that was going to catch her. When I made that video, I saw the side that I walk on, which is straight cement. I completely was oblivious that there is a landing, another building that caught her before she hit the cement. Her leg was unbelievable. It looked like Harry Potter. It was all hung over and destroyed. Her face the side of her face was cut open all different types of way, blood all over the place. And it was literally, in the picture, it was the the manager that was holding her. Not a father, not her mother, not any of the staff. He was the one that got up on that building, got her body, carried it from the second floor, and stood in the front and held her until the ambulance came. That was a man that does nothing but, tend to our building. He's a housekeeper. And he, you know what I mean, was there to save a life, bro. It was a crazy story. Crazy, crazy, crazy story. So there was a lot there for you, all you new people. That was a very light version where I didn't have to actually access fucked up memories and tell you what happened to me, but I will. And they're abusive. They're really bad. They're really violent. They're really disturbing. Don't listen to my videos in public. Don't put them in front of your children. Make sure you're in a place where you can cry or breathe, because you'll get to a place where I gotta take a cigarette. I can't listen to this anymore. I get it. It's my life, but it's only meant to be so you can feel safe to go and to find whatever's hidden in yours. I hope to God that you don't find the things that I find, but if you do, I show you through the grace of God that we can make it through it. And as I go to leave, an invitation. You're already being casted into the awakening. I'm just a guide. I might not be someone you resonate with, but as it starts to happen, make sure that you're being guided through it. What happens? You're going to lose your mind fighting your heart until you let your heart be free. And you're going to have to fight your mind. But listen to what I said. You will lose your heart trying to get your mind to be free. That's it. Sorry. I got a download right there. That's not what I meant. Sorry, I got a whole download. I got a vision. You're going to lose your mind letting your heart be free, or trying not to let your heart be free. But in order for your heart to be free, you're going to have to work through your mind. The ascension is all through your heart. Your healing is all done through your heart. And this is a great teaching of how you start to work with your parts. Cool? Hey, I love you guys in a non-physical way, in a very spiritual way. I wish you well. Tomorrow is a full moon. I always do these typical full moon teachings where I teach you how to do some rituals and stuff for it. And so we'll look at that tomorrow. There'll be 2 teachings. I'll have to do that, plus the 10-day. The full moon is not tomorrow, or it could be wherever you are in it, but you prepare for it. I'll get you prepared for it by tomorrow. And then the 10-day energy will be what we hit up first, so that you know what we're in. Cool? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the dark side. Love yous laters. Bye-bye.